you're like me, right? Hey, that's my money. I'm gonna find a use for it.
Kinley.
Yeah.
It was my girlfriend's birthday party yesterday. I smelled like there's a fire going. Fire. Everything.
It's like smells like. Well, it's a good smell.
Yeah, but it, especially like when you're playing guitar. You know, not all of the guitar is sealed, like the inside of the guitar. So, and the whole thing is every time I pick it up, dude, like
it smells like when you're sitting next to the fire all night.
yeah, it's funny because we get together once a month to do this outside. Oh, Rob's told me about it, up in Greenfield, and it's a really good time. And I always be like, in the guitar I like to play. I could do one of my other guitars, you know. So it takes like 3 weeks for the smell to go away, and like as soon as the month is over, it's like, yeah. I really just need like a campfire guitar.
Right, yeah. Like one that you know.
Also, it was last Sunday. It's like 13 degrees.
Good morning, good morning. How are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Good, you're looking
But
well?
I couldn't wait to come to the service of
Oh.
random acts of kindness.
Yes, yes. Did you think of some?
Oh my God, I have so many of them. I would have been totally lost if it weren't for that. I did so much international travel.
Yes, yes, I remember that. That's right. That's right.
And most places, I would ask them if they spoke English
Uh-huh.
or French.
Right.
Those were the two languages I really knew.
Ah,
And
then you went on from there?
yeah, and I remember one time there was, I was in a train station and I needed to change trains
Uh-huh.
to go in a different direction. And so this woman said, well, I'm going that way anyway, so I'll go with you. But she was going to the other side where she was just going to go down. But she said, now if you want to go that direction, you go down these stairs, and that will lead you to the correct to go to. And I never have to ask people in Denmark if they speak English.
Right.
They all learn to speak English because no one can
Right.
understand them.
Right, right.
It's like all sideways.
And anyway, so I can just remember so many times where people would take me.
You need to play a little music for people coming in. I give you this check, and you need like 2 cents.
Oh. Oh, actually, we didn't do that.
She's got some random acts of kindness ready to go.
Wonderful.
My
Okay.
You start it off, and I'll come in with you. Good morning. Welcome to the Church of Holiday Carols, also known as All Souls Unitarian Universalist Church. I'm Rob Peck. I'll be your host. Jim Levinson will double as both our special guest speaker and our pianist. I'm delighted to have my pal Clay Perry handling the remote connections and the sound for while we're up here. And I think there's a couple of little housekeeping things that excuse me, are helpful to do. But one which I'm realizing I failed to do, and maybe some of you as well, is to just put these little devices on silent. It's official. I want to say, and I mean this from my heart, even though I'm going to read it from the script. No matter what you believe, who you love, or your background and circumstances, you are truly and warmly welcome in this sanctuary. We have a joy every Sunday of coming together, and part of that is really making people feel that this is a shared, a common space for us to just be ourselves and welcome other people to be as relaxed and fully themselves as they can be. And one of my favorite ways to celebrate that is to just take a moment and look at the people around you and greet them. Tell them hello, tell them they're like sunshine on a cloudy day, tell them
Hello, you're like
you're happy
sunshine.
to have the chance to connect with them.
Hello, you're like sunshine. Good morning.
I know you. Hey!
Sunshine, sunshine.
You made good choices. And do some quiet. Do some
Indeed, yes. Good instinct.
I like it. What
Yeah.
our usual good Jimmy and Robbie team. This is totally off script. How many of you, when you walk by, see the little, it's not quite a marquee, but the list of names and people who are going to be speaking here? Wayside Pulpit. So I walk past it periodically, and I saw that today, my friend, my mentor, or what I call my friend tour, was speaking, and then I saw ROBPECK, and my brain said, Rob Peck, why does that name sound familiar? Anyway, I'm on there because I'll be doing a program at the end of the month. We'll talk about things that are upcoming, but I like that there's a playful part of my brain that sees my own name on something and says, where have I heard that name before? Clay, do we have some folks who are on Zoom?
This morning we have Gary, Maggie, and Ellen.
Nice. Well, tell them we're glad that they're able to be part of what we share today. So speaking of upcoming events, just on a little practical note, at the end of your order of service, you'll see that we have a couple things coming up, including a pretty special Christmas Eve service that'll be led by a local legend of sorts, done a lot of wonderful music in her long and illustrious career, Eveline McDougall. Is there anyone who's here for the first time? Oh, how nice. That's wonderful. It'd be great if you're willing to just stand up, let us learn your name and maybe where you're from. So basically you're checking us out today, Greg? Come on, folks, don't make it a bad experience for Greg. You want him to come back.
I'm Matt. I live here in Greenfield. I've been in the area my entire life, and I was invited by some good friends, so I figured, go on down, see what it's all about.
So nice that you came, Matt, and you make the sort of Matt section right here, because right in front of you is someone also named Matt. I think I saw someone over there, yes. Hi, Betty. Really nice to have you all with us. There is a little guest book you can sign in the back. We would love to just be able to stay in touch, and maybe if there are some special events like our Christmas Eve service, we can keep you informed. And there are also pamphlets in the back that during our social hour, which we'll have afterwards, and invite you please to stay and not only socialize, but enjoy some of the good hospitality snacks that somehow miraculously appear every Sunday, mostly because of that woman over there, Kate, but I'm guessing there may have been a few other people who have helped a little bit in that. And now, I invite you to just take 4 deep breaths along with me, and I'm going to ask you if you're willing to just sort of close your eyes and silently repeat after me and allow your breath to sort of guide you. Just so you know what I'm talking about, I'm going to say, breathing in, I am calm and mindful. Breathing out, I am loving and kindful. So that's the first one. I'll just say them. You just kind of, if you can, kind of live into them, and hopefully it's a way for us to just really come fully into this place and be really in the moment with each other. So breathing in, I am calm and mindful. Breathing out, I am loving and kindful. Breathing in, I relax. Breathing out, I release. Breathing in, I am grounded. Breathing out, I am grateful. Breathing in, I am present. Breathing out, I am at peace. And in that grounded and grateful and peaceful space, I invite my friend Jim to share this morning's prelude. Thank you, Jim. And in the spirit of this being the first night of Hanukkah, I've sort of synthesized 2 chalice lightings, One from a very renowned Jewish leader named Hannah Senesh, and another that comes right from the Passover Haggadah. I know it's Hanukkah, not Passover, but some of the same spirit, thankfully, is a through line. And I've asked my friend Maria to please come up and light the chalice. Blessed is the match consumed in kindling flame. Blessed is the flame that burns in the heart's secret places. May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve in a spirit of generosity and freedom. So if you'll now please join me in responsively reading our congregational covenant. I'll kick it off with the line that's underlined at the beginning, and then let's just try to read it, but make it not just a rote reading. See if there's some parts of it that, for whatever reason, mysteriously, are especially apt for where you are right now, right here. In this house, we covenant with one another to create a community built on a foundation of love, to work together to promote equality, justice, and peace, accepting responsibility for our individual acts, to stand on the side of love, embracing the liberation of the oppressed and working to end discrimination and unjust privilege, to communicate with kindness and support, to serve with compassion and commitment, to listen respectfully and value our diversity as a source of our collective strength, to learn and grow together, generously sharing our time, talents, and treasures, to celebrate the joys of discovery, from the wonder of youth to the wisdom of age, to openly share our laughter and our tears, showing reverence for the divine in all that is. In the spirit of openly sharing our laughter and our tears, and there's actually one line in the next hymn, number 354, "We Laugh, We Cry," that is right out of our covenant. I think it's basically recognizing and maybe even echoing the wisdom of youth and the wonder of youth and the wisdom of age. Hymn number 354. Jim, will you get us started, please? Mm-hmm. I so love that last line. I envision a UU bumper sticker that says, there are some questions that just can't be answered. But there are no answers which can't be questioned. So I'm going to ask Jim to share a song connected to the first night of Hanukkah, to gifts of generosity. And I'm going to ask all of you to please be as grateful as you can and as generous as you can to help keep the lights on and the heat on in this building, and please contribute as you feel moved.
Does anyone know this one in Yiddish? Would you like to hear it? It's very sweet. Oy Chanukah, Yontif Hashene, a lustiger, a freiliche, nito nach Azoine, alle Nacht in Dreidlach spielen mir, Zudik heise Latkis, Astonishir, Geschwinder sind Kinder, die dinike lichtlich on. Sogt alle Nisim, Leut Gott, vor die Nisim und kommt, Gichir tanzen in Kon. Sogt alle Nisim, Leut Gott, vor die Nisim und kommt, Gichir tanzen in Kon.
So in the spirit of making our deeds match our creeds, about being egalitarian and universalist, it's kind of nice that we got a rabbi in the house. And Jim, is there anything you want to share about Hine Matov and how you'd like people to join in? It's hymn number 392 in your gray hymnal.
Yes. Come on down, Ron, and let's see if we can work it out as a round. Let's first all sing it in unison in the Hebrew. Hine matovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Now let's try it as a round. This part for this group first, this group second. You sing with this group, please. Ready? Here we go. Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam. Now keep going, keep going. Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov 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 shevet achim gam yachad. Wonderful. What a shul.
All right. He sings, he plays, he leads a chorus, and now he sermonizes. Delighted to have you come up and share today's message, Jim.
The holidays are upon us. Hanukkah begins this evening, Christmas in 11 days. Lots to do in preparation. But let's put the tasks on hold for a bit this morning and reflect instead on how we can make these holidays richer for others. How we can help bring some holiday joy, both to people we know and to people we don't know, by the offering of kindness. Let's explore this a bit. Some years ago, Elie Wiesel, one of the great writers and philosophers of our age and a survivor of the Holocaust, was asked if he believed Mashiach, the Messiah, would come within his lifetime. I've never forgotten Wiesel's reply. I don't know, he responded. But while we are waiting, he continued, we can provide messianic moments for one another. In so doing, our ancestors, watching the effects of these messianic moments from on high, might exclaim to one another, look, Mashiach must have come. Here's a memorable story about Wiesel. He was speaking in an auditorium in New York about his masterpiece memoir, Night. Afterwards, and after being greeted by many admirers on the platform, he walked back through the auditorium toward the exit and saw, still seated there, a woman seemingly unable to move and weeping inconsolably. Wiesel stopped and bent down at her chair. The woman, amidst her tears, was able to say in a thick Yiddish accent, "My mother was there too." but she didn't return. Wiesel took the seat next to hers, took her hand in his, and just sat there with her. They spoke together very quietly, and gradually the woman began to recover. When Wiesel finally stood up, he said to her in Yiddish, "Your mother will be waiting for us in Olam Haba, in the world to come." He gave her a blessing in Hebrew and then departed. I have trouble telling that story with a dry eye. But then maybe there's no premium on dry eyes when we're talking about messianic moments. But here's the important thing. We don't have to be Elie Wiesel to provide messianic moments for others. They can be provided by all of us if they are heartfelt. Here's another story. This one also of a revered leader. That leader, after offering words to the 100,000 pilgrims gathered at St. Peter's Square in Rome, walked along the railing, greeting the people. A couple in the front row in their 30s were dressed in dark clothing. Unlike others at the railing who were waving and calling, "Papa Francesca, Papa Francesco," this couple held back. But when Francis turned to them, the woman leaned forward with such gravity that the Pope took notice and stopped. Tears streamed down her face. Francis reached for her hand, which she took as license to put her mouth by his ear. She whispered something. A look of deep sadness crossed Francis's face. He then turned to her partner. The Pope embraced him and then drew the woman in. They stood like that for nearly a minute, the couple enveloped in the arms of the Bishop of Rome. Then Francis placed his hands on the man's head. The man's shoulders shook. The Pope made a sign of the cross in the air above them and moved on. One dramatic way in which some ordinary people offer messianic moments, indeed messianic years, to others, is through the contribution of a kidney to a stranger. The author Mark Barash, in his remarkable book, Field Notes on the Compassionate Life, writes about interviewing some of these kidney donors and others who have made similarly remarkable gifts, including the gifts of resources that appeared beyond their means. And he concludes that those of us who carry out such acts are intrinsically no different than the rest of us. All that may be a bit different is their perspective on life. One common refrain from those he interviewed was, "I got back more than I gave." Another recurring theme was the ability to get past the fear of not having enough. Many of these persons who had offered such extraordinary gifts concluded that whatever they had was enough, that they were sufficient as they were, that they didn't have to hang on so tightly. And one more intriguing finding contrasts these giving persons with others also interviewed by Barash, others who had not had the opportunity to offer such a gift. These others were often charitable, but their giving was tempered by the desire to pass on the lion's share of their wealth to their children, to succeeding generations. By contrast, the givers studied by Barash, while never ignoring the financial needs of their children, were more conscious of the example they were passing on to their children and their grandchildren. And Barash discovered in turn that these children, exposed to such altruism, exposed to the offering of messianic moments, were more inclined than other children to follow such examples, that they had been provided a legacy which proved ultimately more important than stocks and bonds. Finally, Barash found in case after case that the offering of messianic moments had an effect that he could only label as contagious. In some cases, these were passed forward. In others, they generated comparable acts among those who witnessed them. They were gifts which kept on giving, messianic moments that generated so many more such moments. On his deathbed, the author Aldous Huxley was asked if he had any regrets about his life. What would he have done differently if he had life to live over? Without pausing for an instant, Huxley replied, "I wish I could have been kinder. I wish I could have been kinder." Dare we imagine a world, or even a single community, in which we all took Huxley's messianic message to heart, in which we all sought to make kindness and the offering of messianic moments the organizing principle of our lives? Would it bring lasting peace? Would it perfect our world? Who knows? However, our ancestors, watching from there on high, who had awaited so earnestly the coming of the Messiah, or just might be, these people might just be fooled into thinking that Mashiach had come, that the true Messianic age had actually come. And when they looked more closely, they might not be terribly disappointed to learn that the Mashiach came not as a single divine being, but as a community of kindred spirits whose actions had indeed ushered in the age they had so eagerly anticipated. One more bit about messianic moments. From time to time, I find myself imagining messianic moments I would love to see or to have seen. As examples, in 2001, on the eve of the threatened U.S. attack on Iraq, an attack that would lead to the deaths of tens of thousands of Americans and countless Iraqis. On the eve of that attack, the leaders of all the world religions would have traveled to Baghdad and stood together as a human shield, protecting those about to be killed. And imagine this. Earlier this year, all of the former U.S. presidents, including George W. Bush, would have come together to physically prevent the first deportations of immigrants from this country. As we contemplate the idea of life-changing messianic moments, here's something we can do with less deliberation and sacrifice, but which can provide wondrous joy to others. We can engage with, let's call it, the younger sister of messianic moments. We can provide random acts of kindness. So as we conclude this sermon, let's go around and call out some random acts of kindness that we could offer in the weeks ahead. Let me begin with my wife Louise's favorite story. She was driving to the local Dunkin' Donuts in Brattleboro, and a crazy driver looming behind zoomed around her from the right and pulled into the Dunkin' Donuts driveway line ahead of her. Louise was beside herself, but resisted any of the responses I might have offered. Then, when her own food was delivered and she reached for her wallet to pay, the server told her, "The driver just ahead of you paid for your meal." And a few random acts of kindness told to me by youngsters that gave me the biggest smiles. Here's one. I put a quarter in the meter of a car about to be ticketed. What I did was probably illegal. Here's another. My mother has been visiting a shut-in every week at a nursing home. This woman is really rude, but my mother keeps visiting and being nice to her anyway. And here's another. I sent flowers to my violin teacher for her birthday. She keeps saying that I'm getting better. But my brother holds his ears every time he comes into the room. He's such a jerk. Okay, let's hear first from you, Rob.
When she was 21, my daughter and I took a trip to see family in California. On the way back, we had to change planes. And Jazz, my daughter, noticed a woman having a meltdown, and then several armed security guards accosting her. And Jazz walked right into that very tense situation and said that she was pretty sure that she could help the woman find her gate. And would the guards please give her a moment to be alone with the woman? So they pulled back a little bit, and Jazz walked up to this total stranger and said, "Would you like a hug?" And she nodded, and Jazz said, "Would you like a light hug, a medium hug, or a real bear hug?" And the woman looked at Jazz and said, "A bear hug, please." And then for several, what seemed like moments, I'm sure it was seconds, Jazz just held that woman. And when she let go, that woman was no longer freaking out and filled with panic, and Jazz did in fact help her find her gate. Who else has a story of a random act of kindness and generosity that they'd like to share?
The one that occurred to me is not the most appealing, but this is what occurred to me, is that I occasionally pick up poop that wasn't from my dog, just because. And I also, I do try to be kind to people in traffic and just let them in and not get into the whole road rage thing.
invite them to pick up the poop.
One thing I've seen repeatedly here in Greenfield is that someone is they're going to pay, and they're like 10 cents, $1, they're short on what they need to pay. Multiple people in the line, here. And, they're like wrestling almost. They want to help.
Morning, church. I want to do a little reverse thing. I want to say that I've been given an act of kindness. I was doing the service maybe 10 days ago with Sandra Boston, and I was sitting, and Rob Peck here over my friend, my brother, asked if he could join in. And it was a real gift to me, and I really haven't had a chance to thank you so much for your generosity and kindness. Thank you, Rob.
Back at you, sister.
I was online this week registering for the NOVA conference, the winter conference. The feature is going to be healthy soil. And my soil always needs more help. And I thought, I want to be at that conference. So I went to the registration to sign up, and they had like 6 choices of registration. One was for, super givers. One was for people who want to make a donation. Then there was one, if you would like to pay enough for one other person to attend. And then there was the normal rate. And then there was apply for a scholarship. And I thought, wow, this organization is really taking to heart our equity and inequity in this country. And I was so taken by it that I signed up for the pay for one other person.
I actually have 2 stories, but I'll start with the first one. There was this contested election in Senegal, and my friend Harumi, who was an au pair when my kids were little, is from Japan, and she had come over to visit me, and there was no restaurants that were open that you could eat at down where we were. And I said, there's this other restaurant that I know. And we got on the bus that goes up along the Corniche, only instead of continuing up on the right side, it went over to the left side, and it was because there was this battle going on about this election, and the bus went up on the other side, and then the wrong side, and on the right side of us, there were tires that have been poured gasoline in, and they were burning, and when we got up to where we didn't go all the way up to where there was the demonstration going on, and there was a Senegalese sitting across from us, and he heard us speaking in English, of course, and he came up to us and he said, "Where are you going?" And I said, "Well, we thought that we would get something to eat up here, but I guess this isn't the place to go." And so he found a cab for us, and he asked us where we lived, and at the time, they don't have addresses there because there's no mail delivery or anything. You have to rent a box. Um, So I said, oh, I live on this main street with an apartment building that has red balconies. Thank goodness it had red balconies. I went back years later and they painted them, so I wouldn't have had that. Anyway, the point is that he got a cab for us, made sure that the cab driver knew a safe route to get us back there, and paid for the cab for us. And, you know, I don't know what I would have done without him doing all of that.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yes.
Clay, do we have, oh, wait. Happy to have you share one as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a double one. My two friends that are sitting on both sides of me invited me here today, and at a time that I think that we all really needed the message. And then it was followed by another kindness, because I said, I don't think I'm going to go. It's my one day off with my husband. We have breakfast together. And then he got up early this morning and made breakfast early so I could make it here with them.
I want to lift up Laura Joseph. When you were talking about donating a kidney, she did that. And also, I saw on Facebook today she's raising money. Her son, Jordan, his biological mother is being held by ICE right now. And so they're trying to raise money so that she can have a hearing. She's Cambodian and came as a baby. And anyway, December 31st apparently is the hearing. So she's raising money.
I know we could all go on and on because we're good people. But I'm going to try to be brief. When I first moved here, there was an older woman, Bulldyke, lived next door. She was raising 4 teenage boys, and their front yard looks like a parking lot. And I thought, oh God, where did we move? Well, they turned out to be really wonderful people, and a woman that I truly admire for taking care of these 4 young boys and raising them really well. And they've become good neighbors. And the other day, I made 2 pans of lasagna and sent one over. And they're good boys, and I love my neighbors and don't always judge a book by its cover.
Thank you. I think we could go on, and it would be wonderful to have maybe some continued thoughts during the coffee hour, because if you're anything like me, something will be percolating, and you'll be thinking, should I share it? I don't know, I'm not sure. And then maybe in a more informal setting, it'll be easier to share it. Did you have any concluding words?
Yes. Talk about a wondrous way to offer kindness to others during these holidays. Let's each resolve to do at least 2 in the weeks ahead, one of them for a person we don't know. Amen.
Okay, so Jim joked with me that all the songs that I picked for him to play on the piano involve 3 sheets that he's got to turn each time. So I don't know, it's my little way of a reverse act of kindness, making you have to become an even more nimble pianist. But this is one of those. It's hymn number 221. We were blessed for a while to have a part of Peter, Paul, and Mary, Peter Yarrow, living in our community. And he wrote, I think, the best song about Hanukkah that I've ever heard. So given that tonight is the first night, it seems like an appropriate time to sing Light One Candle.
band that played in the right key. Here we go.
All right, so in the spirit of not letting the light go out, we're going to get some lights to go on. I'm going to ask my friend Matt that you could come too if you want to be a double Matt, but in any event, to be willing to light a candle if any of you would like to share. For some of you who are new, this is a tradition that I really hold sacred. It's a time when you can raise up something that you either see as a sorrow and that you would like the support of a whole community helping you to hold, but also something that's a joy, something that gives you hope and gratitude, that similarly, it feels nice to not just keep to yourself and to be able to share with the whole congregation. So I'll come around with a microphone and you can just let us know whether you'd like to light a candle of sorrow, candle of joy. You could even, today only, you could do 2 for the same price.
Hi, I'm Christine. Please light a candle for Bruce Benarski, who left this world in the past week or so. He offered my oldest son a really valuable father figure.
And it's priceless. And he did it for no good reason other than he was a good person. And I'm very grateful for that.
I could count on you, Matt.
I would like to light a candle of joy for the birth of my nephew, Joseph, this past September. Although I was a little bit disappointed he was born on the day after my birthday and did not share a birthday with me. He's been a wonderful addition to our family, and he's just the cutest little guy. So,
Just like his almost spitting image birth date, brother. Anyone else have a candle that they'd like to light?
I want to thank, about 8 of us, 9 of us that came together on Tuesday for a potluck, newcomers potluck. We had a nice gathering, and it's great. The notable thing was most of the folks that came actually were very familiar with Unitarian Universalism, knew us, and are now joining us. Just familiar faces. It was a nice potluck.
I want to light a candle of prayer for safety. My housemate here in Greenfield has traveled to Ukraine. She's an electrical engineer, and she's gone over to help them with their satellite system. And I just want to hold her in our love and our prayer for her safe return.
I'd like to light a candle of joy for you, Karen. You are a fountain at just sort of ageless zest and enthusiasm and all the ways in which you see the bright side of life. I think you're a walking messianic moment. She's saying that she likes that idea that if someone's in front of you in line and they're buying a coffee and a Danish, that she'll just volunteer to chip in and treat them. And that it causes a kind of chain reaction where then they get inspired and they turn around and pay it forward to the person behind them.
Hi, Robin. This is kind of one of those random moments of kindness, so it's a joy, which is that I was out for breakfast with Pam Kelly, and I was talking to her about how I wanted to do dialogue across differences, across the red-blue divide in the past, but the group I was in, we didn't know anyone who was conservative, so we couldn't do it. And then I moved to a neighborhood where my 3 immediate neighbors are all conservative, and I was sharing with Pam my story about how one of them was the scary kind of conservative who I just didn't want to mess with at all and tried to stay away from. And it turns out that they showed up in the cafe. I'm like, there they are. They're over there. And we went about our, talking about what we were talking about, and it turns out they paid for my meal. So it was just like, what? And really opened my eyes up, changed my story about there's some goodwill that I've been showing to them, and I feel like I got it back, so yay.
It's all about building a well of goodwill. Anyone? Okay, wait, we've got one more.
Why not embrace the snow? Global warming, but we still got snow and it's beautiful, and the little dogs just love to run and play. It's a good joy.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Thank you, Matt. I want to also just collectively recognize that there are many other candles, both of sorrow and of joy, that did not get expressed, at least out loud, but we can continue to hold them in our hearts. So, Jim, would you please lead us in our closing hymn, which we are going to sing through twice, because I was talking to Andrew Baker and we were deciding that this was a hymn that really has some heft, and it's number 123, Spirit of Life. And Jim, I think there's a mic pretty close to you if you want to use it for your benediction. Or you can come up here, whatever is more comfortable to you. Hold on, I'll bring you a mic, Jim.
Let this prayer speed her way to Olam Haba. Yit gadal v'yit gadash shalei rabah. Ya'lamad yivarash yitei. Ya'amech malchutei. V'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei. V'chol beit Yisrael. V'hagalad izrad b'di v'imru. Amen. And for all of us. Yiv Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May the Lord bless you and guard you. May the Lord show you favor and be gracious to you. May the Lord show you kindness and grant you peace. And we all say together, Amen.
Amen. Would you like to share a postlude?
Let's have a postlude.
Bless you, brother. So, just before we break and have a chance to socialize and eat some of those yummy snacks I mentioned earlier, are there any announcements that would serve the community? I'll model one. This coming Saturday, I believe it's the 20th, it's either on or close to the solstice, several artists, many different kinds of artists, poets, storytellers, musicians, are all doing, I think now it's like the 40th annual winter solstice concert. It's money that goes to the food bank, it's money that goes to a wonderful service organization called Partners in Health. And it'll be happening at the Amherst Co-Housing Community, which is on Pulpit Hill Road. I have a couple flyers over by the piano that I'd be happy to hand people, and starts at 6:30.
So we are going to have a board meeting on Zoom on Monday night. So if anybody's interested in joining us, you are welcome. Let me know and I can send you the Zoom link. Also, today, we're going to deck the halls. This place needs to have greens and a tree over there to put socks, mittens, scarves. We give them to a local school, a couple local schools. So we're going to erect a tree. Joan Pillsbury looked into whether we could have a live tree this year, and they said no, the fire department. So we're going to use our good old fake tree. Anyway, deck the halls right after service, because we're going to have a social justice committee meeting in there, like a little bit after 12. We'll start the social justice meeting. So please join the fun, eat some food, have a coffee.
I'll share what social justice issue is closest to your heart.
So Marie is inviting you, if there is some social justice issue that really feels pressing, that you really feel personally connected to, we're really eager to have people engage in it in whatever way moves them.
Also, next Saturday, the 20th, after Rob's concert at Pulpit Hill, at 7 p.m. Till 10 p.m. at the Greenfield Grange, there is a a drum and dance and play. And this is just kind of an improv jam session for people that like to dance, play music, acoustic music, and just be there, welcome the return of the light, honoring the winter solstice.
The nerve of you to be competing with us.
So if I'm remembering correctly, the 20th is going to be the last farmer's market. I think it'll be at the library. What a wonderful thing, gifts and community. I love the community feeling about it. It's at our library. I believe is it 10 to, can somebody help me out? 10 to 1? Be there or be square. Thank you. Wonderful event. Yeah, next Saturday on the 20th.
And then you can also get connected with the Stone Soup Cafe, which is right outside there.
Lots of holiday activities coming this weekend, so I'll mention one more. Andrew Baker, and on Friday and Saturday next week, this coming week, starting at 7, out at Pothole Pictures. I mention it because it's kind of our iconic story about acts of kindness is Frank Capra's It's a Wonderful Life will be playing, and you can come and see one of our Hollywood stories about American values and made by an Italian immigrant. So, well, the music starts at 7 and the movie starts at 7:30.
Hi, my name's Tiffany. There's a developing program in Brattleboro called 69A. It's named after their address, but they just moved. And they are a sort of resource hub, mutual aid space. They really focus on art and focus on providing a space for people to get out of the weather and just relax inside. And I'm helping coordinate meals and food. At their new space, they don't have an up and running kitchen yet. So if anyone's interested in providing a meal, mainly they need help with breakfast or lunch. Monday through Friday, I think it's 8 to 4 or 8 to 6. Anyways, talk to me if you want to bring a meal. This is ongoing, it's not just this season. Or any ready-to-eat foods if you can, things like yogurt or granola bars, anything like that. Talk to me. Soft foods are great.
Great, thank you for doing that. Any other announcements? I'll simply remind folks that for Christmas Eve, the halls will be decked. There'll be music ringing out, and it will be a time to make merry and also to connect and to feel that real sense of community that ultimately is why I come, and perhaps is why many of you come. I got an announcement.
I'm not sure, but tonight we usually light the menorah on Down Common. You know if that's after the...
Yes, I do, because one of those days I'm actually going to do, I haven't performed in close to a decade, but I've been pressed into service to do my old juggling act at the Temple Israel. Little do they know what they're going to get. But anyway, that's on the 21st, and I know that evening Jasper is going to be leading a giant outdoor Hanukkah menorah lighting Sunday the 21st. And the first lighting will be tonight. And apparently we've decided, this is the first time Jews have ever all gotten on the same page. We're going to light one every night. We haven't figured that. No, I'm talking. Do we know? Does anyone know what time? I think it depends on whether you're Orthodox, Conservative, or Reformed. It's yes, probably. The idea is to do it at sundown. All right, so glad you're here. Please come and enjoy our refreshments and hang around and let's get a chance to get to know each other a little.
Gary, how are you? Are you over COVID finally? I'm not hearing you. Not hearing you at all.
I'm using a different thing to be on. I forgot to unmute. So yeah, mostly I did a bunch of stuff yesterday. Came home at like 5:15 and fell asleep for an hour and a half.
But you've been napping a lot less.
But I have been napping a lot less. I'm skiing again.
Woo! Skiing.
Been out twice.
Downhill?
Yeah, well, I work at Stratton.
I remember that. You're driving all the way to Stratton.
Yeah, so I did that.
Amazing.
So it's coming along. I'm happy to say. I think I can pretty confidently say I don't have long COVID. I do have extended COVID.
I didn't know there was a new label, but there's bound to be.
Yeah, there is. I made it up.
No, it makes sense.
Long COVID is an actual medical.
Yeah.
Extended COVID is what's happening to me. So
Right. No, I get it. Long COVID is a real thing, and
yeah, the extended. Many people have extended COVID, so you know.
yeah.
How are you folks doing?
We've been dodging COVID. Hi, Christy. Thank you for your rundown on physical therapists. That was very.
Oh, I hope it helps.
It will in the long run, because for the long run, I'll probably visit some of them along the way.
Yeah, I remember the name of the other one I couldn't remember in the practice. There's Jess Goldberg. Jamie Schoen was another person in that Hatfield practice who seems like she's really good. So
yeah, I didn't respond directly because
it's JAMIE SCHOEN. She's another like a Jess and Jamie and Kayla are all like fully certified physical therapists, not like assistants. There's a bunch of great assistants there too, but they're like the top, the apex people there. So yeah.
Yeah, I felt like Christy had covered the bases. I mean, I've been to 2 different places and I work with whoever is there and they're all good. So I couldn't really single out anybody in particular.
Great. Have you ever?
I've worked with Kayla. She was my primary.
I see. So you haven't been to MVP, either of you? MVP physical therapy?
Where's that?
It's on High Street in Greenfield.
No.
The body.
I've been to 3 different PT practices, and one was in Hadley. The one in Hatfield is the most recent. And then when I broke my arm a long time ago, someplace in Florence. I don't know if they're still around or not. Honestly.
Right. Well, you're moving pretty nicely right there, Miss Horizontal.
Well, this isn't sitting. Sitting is what's hard.
Oh.
So lying down is easy.
Wow. Yeah. Well, sitting is overrated. I don't mean to diminish your issues, but from what I understand, humans only started sitting in the last few hundred years when chairs were invented. Right.
Well, I'm sure we sat on the ground, but that's a different mechanism of your whole
yeah,
body.
for me, that's really difficult.
Yeah.
But
a lot of stooping too.
You know,
a lot of people all over the world stoop.
But I mean, of course, you want to be able to sit comfortably. Of course. But
obvious. Yeah, I didn't take it amiss. No.
I mean,
Okay, are you folk?
Well,
Go
I just
ahead.
tell you that there's actual research that for like most of us, when we work out, we think we're doing something good for our bodies, whether it's half hour, an hour. But people who worked out and then went and sat in an office all day totally undid the benefit of what they had done at the gym, or vice versa, if you worked out the day. The point that the researchers were trying to make, sitting is that bad for you, that it's just not, it's not what our bodies are evolved for. They evolved on a savanna walking.
So commuting is definitely a bad thing, like on so many levels. Like that's just one more thing against commuting.
Send that to dog. Hey, are you folks going to Ricky's?
Yes, we are.
We'll see you there.
Christy assured us that you might be wearing masks, and we might not be the only ones if we
We're
choose.
gonna decide if it's really lots of people.
I'm
then
gonna be
probably.
wearing.
Gary usually does.
I'm gonna wear a mask, except when I'm eating, and then I'll probably go in the other room.
In that large of a space with that many people, I probably will too. If it's a smaller thing, I'll kind of just weigh it. But that many people, yeah, maybe, probably.
Does it help with the flu too to wear a mask?
It helps with anything.
I think it helps with everything. So
It's, I mean, if it's an
if it keeps
N95,
droplets out of your system, it's a good thing. So.
RSV, flu, whatever. It was, I noticed we went to Welcome Yule the other night. And while there weren't a lot of people masked, I will say that there were more people masked at a public gathering than I've seen in like 2 years.
Oh, that's interesting.
People are aware that flu is.
But it's Franklin County. It's Franklin County, and
Wow. How was Welcome Yule? Was it Friday night?
it's Friday, Saturday, and today.
The last one is to this afternoon,
Yeah.
I think.
It was good. We enjoy it. We also got to go to the Christmas Revels at Sanders Theater in Cambridge.
Oh, that's
wow,
really special.
Courtesy of our.
They know Joan. You know Joan.
Well, I was
Joan
yeah,
Watson. Yeah, Joan.
I was going to try to think of what I call her when
Your ex.
Well, no, but relevant to
That doesn't really
relevant
narrow
to
down the numbers very much.
Right, no, it's more relevant to her getting tickets for us to things. And there's something I used to call her in regard to that. I can't remember what it was, but
Oh, like Ticketmeister or
well, yeah, like performer. It'll come to me.
She's a force of nature.
Oh yeah,
a force of nature. Yeah.
Yeah, Christmas revels. And you go to the Welcome Yule every year? Is it a ritual for you guys?
Yeah. That.
Oh, I don't know if I'd call it a ritual, but it's a nice community event. It's a nice way to just kind of settle into this season. And we often have friends in it. Our friend Karen Doss is in it, so we want to go support them.
We have multiple friends in it.
Yeah, so it's multi-pronged.
I used to know because having lived in Cambridge and Boston area, and having been in the Revels myself, I used to know a ton of people in Quadrivium, right? Well, that's in the Revels, and at this point, the only person I know, well, there was somebody from out here, Lydia, who's does Scandinavian music and dancing around here. There were a couple of people, but the only person I know from the old days that's still there is the former director, who's now kind of helping them transition between directors. The only person I know from like 40 years ago. It used to be that that was where I'd see certain people that I used to do music with every year, but they've all moved on. Or
are you folks doing any seasonal concert stuff?
I need to go and I'm going to go make my breakfast drink now. But I'll let you folks can chat.
We'll see you later.
I see.
And we'll see you later anyway.
We can catch up at Ricky's too, so yeah.
I hope we will. I'm actually hoping it's a small enough crowd that we will be able to talk with you. Sometimes it's crowded there. You just talk to whoever is nearby.
It's true, but it's unlike some of the sit down holidays, like dinner things, where you really only interact with the people like on either side of you. This isn't a sit down meal, so you can kind of rove around and talk to multiple people, although it's harder because it's louder and there's more people, but sometimes it's easier to transition and check in with more people. So yeah.
And I love that there are a bunch of other rooms you can go to.
There's quieter rooms and less hot rooms. The menorah room is so hot.
Yeah, she finally took to putting dress-in layers on the invitation. I noticed this year. Tom said, "Do you think it might be outside? Is that why she mentioned dressing in layers?" I said, "No, it's because it could get so hot with the candles." It's really true. and how fun to be hot on such a cold night. I think it's going to be particularly cold tonight.
Yeah.
But you asked about music, and it's always
Yeah.
tempting to hear about your solstice gathering.
Mm.
It's a chance to hear a lot of seasonal music all in one place, right?
Yeah, well, storytelling, and I mean, you've been, you know what it is.
Yes, we've been. Was it
It would be lovely to see you there if that works out for your schedule. So, yeah.
And is it always at co-housing now, or is that?
No, this is the first year at co-housing. It had been at Becky's Roundhouse for years and years and years. And then after after it left that, it kind of was wandering around. It was in Shelburne, it was in Greenfield, it was in Ashfield for the past couple of years. It was at the Temple one year. It was on Zoom during COVID. So, but co-housing this year felt like the easiest solution. And it also kind of recreates that, like you went to when it was at Becky's Roundhouse. It had this like cozy living room feel. There wasn't like a big separation of audience versus performers.
Yeah.
It was like, and it just felt like you were, I mean, you literally were in somebody's living room. And it felt like this like really hug of a like a place, right? And co-housing kind of replicates that in its own way, where you're like you're in a living room, and it's not like these people are on a stage and these people are in chairs in the audience. Like it's more fluid of an experience, and I think a lot of people in the company were missing that. So we're trying it this year, and it was just easier. We didn't need to have like a light board operator, and there's just fewer moving parts.
So it'll be literally in their living room and not the space where they did the Stone Soup fundraiser, which is, I think, the dining.
Yeah, it's the same spot. It's the common house. Yeah.
So there's not really a stage, but you're in front of the seating.
Yeah, you're by the mantle, so it's like a performance place, but it's not like a raised up stage where the actors are separate, or even like in Ashfield. You're up at the front of the church, like raised up higher, and the audiences, there's a distinct line. Like it just has a different feel to it. So it'll be fun to see how it goes in there.
Super
I think it'll be a nice space for it.
6:30 to 8:30. That
8:30, maybe 9. We try to be cognizant of time, but sometimes we can't. There's factors we can't control. Like so.
Yes, I recall.
Yeah.
And Tom was really wowed by the other option that somebody mentioned at the end of the service today.
The dancing thing. Is the Greenfield Grange?
Yes. Is it dancing?
That's what it sounded like drumming and movement kind of thing. It sounded like a dancing thing.
Okay, and that, if we're lucky, we might be able to do yours. And
I honestly don't see how, because the one at the solstice starts at 6:30, and they said that started at 7.
Yes.
I don't know what time that goes till, but
like
ours is if it's
he said
if ours is 6:30 to 8:30, and then you have to drive to Greenfield, you're not getting there till like after 9, at least.
Right. It's in Montague. Yeah.
Oh, it's in Montague, not in Greenfield.
I thought it was at
I thought he said it was at the Greenfield Grange, like at the Guiding Star Grange.
Well, and I hear Grange, and my mind still just goes to the Montague one. You're probably
on Wells Street.
On Wells Street.
A lot of dancing happens.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay, you're right. Well,
so I think they're mutually exclusive, unfortunately, but I truly don't know anything about the other event other than what we just both heard. So yeah.
We'll have to see what our nervous systems and our bodies are up for.
Yeah.
But it does sound wonderful, both of them.
I know it's a wealth of things. And remember, I just think back to COVID times when there was nothing. We just were like, do you want to watch another thing on Netflix? Do you want to read? Do you want to go for a walk?
Right.
Do you want to do a Zoom? Like those were our options. That was it.
Right. Well, I think I attended your thing on Zoom. I think I needled Gary in advance, and I said, can I hear Christy sing at that solstice celebration on Zoom? Because I was in Vermont, so there was no chance with my mom in Vermont, and she's still cooking. She's
amazing.
But anyway, she's 90 now, but then she was like 87, 88. And I remember, I think he worked it out so I could see.
But Gary's, just a warning, Gary's making a smoothie, and it's going to be super loud in the square.
It's okay.
Right now.
That's funny. Okay, well, we better.
So maybe we should just hang up while he's doing that. I'm still in my pajamas.
Me too. Speaking of, me too. I always am for these services. Which anyway, I recently looked up what fleece is made of. I just noticed that you're, not wearing any fleece.
This is my fleece onesie. I got it at the thrift store for $5.
It is fleece.
It's fleece and it's a zip up onesie for adults and it has a hood.
Oh
It's
my
my favorite thing this winter. I wear this thing on top of all my other clothes and I'm so snuggy. I love this thing. It makes me happy for $5. It was fantastic.
That makes me happy too.
Yeah.
And so when you need to answer the call of nature, does it have
I
apparatus?
zip it down. That's the one downside. It doesn't have like a little back door. I have to take the top off and kind of, but yeah, I'm wearing layers underneath it, but that's a little awkward. That's true. Yeah.
Well, it's very becoming. And
it's so comfortable. Yeah.
How fun. Well, the reason I brought up fleece was because I recently read about it online and was distressed to find that
All the microplastics and everything that are byproducts of it.
You're well aware of it, obviously.
Yeah.
So
yep.
you just decide to go for it anyway, I take it.
Well, you know what? I didn't buy this brand new. It's already been manufactured. It's in the world. If I didn't buy it, it still exists.
Yeah.
And it might end up in a landfill decomposing into microplastics.
Right.
I'm extending the time that before that happens. So, I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's already made. I can't unmake it.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I've been trying to decide what to do with my myriad fleece and tops and even pants. I've got fleece.
I have fleece pants too.
on right now.
Yeah.
But so thank you. That gives me another point of view to play with.
Yeah, I mean, if you get rid of them, someone else, I mean, if you donate them to a store, someone else will buy them and wear them.
Right.
Or they could end up in Africa in a donated bin and doing microplastics there.
Yeah.
Or they'll be decomposing somewhere and being microplastics sooner than they would be if you just wore them.
It's totally true. And maybe I have to dig deeper on the information I got, which is that they're also putting out microplastics into the air I'm speaking to and then that goes into the dust on the floor that then recirculates.
I don't know that much about that part of it. I should do a little more research.
Well, that was the part that was new to me.
Yeah.
In the last few days.
Yeah, every time I sweep, there's always these microfibers.
Well, and you see dust in the air, and so they're now. I don't know if they're now saying it. I'm just now finding it. I probably was there for years, but I just found out that it's not only a danger to our environment in general, but our immediate environment is impacted by having. I haven't found any data yet, and it's probably there about, well, how much? Like, how much does the average jacket actually contribute to my environment? Is it some incredibly microscopic unit that doesn't really have an impact? Or if I'm wearing 12 different items of fleece all winter long, could that actually be, so maybe I sound a little bit overwrought or overly anxious about this, but I thought if you were concerned, you might know more than I do.
No, I feel like you know more about it than I do at this point, because that's all information I didn't necessarily have.
Well, I hope it's wrong, and I hope I'm going to do a little more research and find out that was maybe some kind of misinformation.
Yeah.
How they're literally giving off things in our environment that are all around us and in the air. And that really...
Fleece is going to be more likely to drop little pieces than a jacket like this,
Right, this is nylon.
Yes. Oh, it's nylon.
I mean, the outside is nylon.
I mean,
the inside, I don't know. But
yeah, it doesn't pill as much, like the fleece pills.
Yes.
And I know what you're saying, Tom. Yeah.
So I think that's what they're saying is it breaks down. Because partly because it's a recycled material.
Right. And it's good that it's recycled. And that nothing is black and white, is it? The world is just full of gray.
It's dangerous gray.
Yeah. So but I know people who are doing things like trying to only buy cotton and trying to only buy wool. But there's also repercussions for that. So it's just
right, because
live on the planet without having a footprint in some way, and I guess you just need to make choices about what that footprint looks like. And
Right.
but yeah,
Cotton and wool are susceptible to pesticides.
mm,
And
yeah,
some
cotton
people
is
want
definitely
organic cotton because of that.
right.
And then
Yes.
you go down that rabbit
But
hole.
then, like, sometimes there's like water issues because I think cotton is a water intensive crop. So are they depleting aquifers in certain countries to grow cotton, even though it's organic? Are you know what I mean? Then, like, there's just like levels after levels after levels.
There are no really healthy choices left.
Yeah.
It's how it starts to feel. I'm sure there are,
I
but
think, I mean, 150, 200 years ago, people owned, like, women owned 3 dresses.
Right.
And you wore them because it was so labor intensive. You had to shear this sheep. I mean, like, it just, you did all the labor to
Wow.
make the cloth or bought it, and it was very expensive. And you wore a dress till, like, the wrong side was brighter than the right side, and then you took it apart and you reversed it and you re-sewed it so it looked new because the outside part was more worn than the inside part, and you turned it inside out and you sewed the whole thing up again,
Well,
and then
really,
you
that-
like made it into something smaller and something smaller and something smaller until there was no fabric left.
oh my God, that is so cool.
I'm good. I'm heading upstairs to get
That
myself
music
ready.
is a lot. Go.
So bye. See you later.
Thank you. See you later. Be fun to see you twice in one day.
Right. So yeah, and so that, I mean, that's one way to live on the earth, and that they didn't have a ton of choice between monetary and whatever, but I don't know, simplicity, mindfulness, it's hard. It's hard.
Trying for all those things.
Yeah.
I'm mindful about my fleece. I'm going to try not to buy any more, at least that for starters.
Yeah.
And I just put one fleece blanket in a giveaway bag, deciding I'm going to do that anymore. So completely different subject. I had sent Gary an email asking him a question about Medicare because we're being kicked off our Medicare Advantage.
My mom did too. She had to pick a whole new one.
The Blue Saver RX from.
I don't know anything about it. I know Gary didn't lose his, but my mom lost hers, and I know people are.
Well, I'm asking him, and I hope to remember tonight to ask him which one if he recommends it, if he likes his plan. I'd love to know because we're going to have to change.
Yeah, I'm
So,
sorry.
I've got an email into him, but he hasn't answered it. I sent it the same time as the one about the PT.
Yeah.
And it's not urgent yet, but I just love to know whether he recommends his plan. So till later.
Okay. Nice to see you.
Like,
I feel very silly in my pajamas and bedhead, like on a video, but I'm glad. Yeah. I was just doing like PT and like myofascial release exercises during the service and listening, and I didn't think I'd be on camera at all. And
Myofascial release.
It's amazing.
I want to learn more, but I know.
Talk more. Yeah.
But I did not know you were in your pajamas. I thought it was some kind of.
Well, I'm in my pajamas under my onesie. So I'm still in my pajamas under my
Please
onesie.
have no shame. I am always in my sleepwear when I get on Zoom.
Fantastic. You look less rumpled than I do in some way. So yeah, you.
Comparison. What do they say? Comparison is the.
I think you brushed your hair. I didn't even.
You look gorgeous. Please don't.
All right, I'll see you later.